When a lottery pick goes from starting 54 games to collecting DNPs in garbage time, something broke. But what if I told you that Jeremy Sochan's falling stock isn't about talent, it's about timing? The San Antonio Spurs are 27-12 and sitting second in the Western Conference. They're winning now, but their 2022 ninth overall pick has played just 26 total minutes this season. He's watching from the bench while guys like Lindy Waters and Carter Bryant get run. Even in 30-point blowouts, he's glued to his seat. Here's the thing nobody's saying out loud. Sochan's current value is a gift for 28 other teams, and if one front office is smart enough to make the call before everyone else wakes up, they could steal one of the league's best defensive pests for pennies on the dollar. Let's break down why this is the exact moment to pounce. What's up, Spurs fans? Welcome back to Spurs Quick News. Quick, sharp, and always silver and black. I'm your host, and today we're diving into the Jeremy Sochan situation. Not to mourn it, not to celebrate it, but to understand why 29 other teams should be blowing up San Antonio's phones right now. Before we jump in, drop your city in the comments so we know where the Spurs family is tuning in from. Let's get one thing straight. The Spurs didn't want this. Jeremy Sochan was supposed to be a cornerstone, a 6'8" defensive menace who could guard ones through fours, rebound like a power forward, and grow into the perfect complement for Victor Wembanyama's skill set. Instead, he's averaging 5.5 points on 14.7 minutes per game. That's not rotation player minutes. That's, we're trying to showcase you for a trade minutes, except they're not even doing that anymore. In recent blowout wins and losses, Sochan hasn't even sniffed the floor during garbage time. Here's the brutal part. San Antonio opened this season with their best start in franchise history, 5 in a row. They're currently 27-12, sitting second in the Western Conference behind only the Thunder. This team is good. Wembanyama is averaging 24.3 points and 11.1 rebounds. Stephon Castle is running the offense with 6.8 assists per game. De'Aaron Fox brought veteran leadership and clutch execution. Dylan Harper is developing exactly as planned. Everything is clicking, except for Sochan. And when a team is winning this much, fit becomes everything. The Spurs need spacing around Wemby. They need shooters who can punish defenses for collapsing on the paint. Sochan shoots 26.9% from 3 this season, and he's never shot above 31% in any of his 4 NBA seasons. But here's the part nobody's talking about. His trade value is in the basement right now, and that's precisely why smart teams should be making their move. Do you think Sochan's benching is about talent or fit? Type talent or fit below. I want to see what the fans think. Here's where it gets interesting. When a player goes from starter to DNP, most people assume the talent fell off. But Sochan's numbers tell a different story. His field goal percentage is 49.4%. He's still one of the league's most versatile defenders. He can still rebound, finish in transition, and create energy on both ends. So why isn't he playing? Simple. The Spurs are trying to win now, and their system requires floor spacing at every position. With Wembanyama and Luke Kornet manning the center spot, Sochan would need to play power forward. But Harrison Barnes, despite recent struggles, and Julian Champagny both provide the three-point shooting San Antonio's offense demands. Sochan doesn't. That's a San Antonio problem. It's not a league-wide problem. Wait until you hear which teams could actually unlock Sochan's full potential. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine Sochan on a team with elite shooting at the guard spots and a stretch 5 at center. Suddenly, his lack of spacing isn't a liability. It's covered. Now his defensive versatility becomes the centerpiece. He can guard the opponent's best wing, crash the offensive glass, and finish lobs in transition. Think about the Miami Heat, who desperately need perimeter defense and toughness. Or the New Orleans Pelicans. Wait, scratch that. They're apparently player haters according to reports and won't engage in reasonable trade talks. How about a team like the Memphis Grizzlies, who thrive on defensive intensity and have enough shooting with Desmond Bane and Luke Kennard to make it work? The point is this. Sochan's value isn't zero. It's just depressed because of circumstance. And in the NBA, circumstance creates opportunity. Reports from Forbes' Evan Sidery suggest the Spurs are open to moving Sochan for a proven veteran. Translation. They'll take less than his actual value if it means getting a better fit. That's a discount waiting to be claimed. If you were a GM with solid shooting around your core, would you take a chance on Sochan for a second-round pick? Comment yes or pass. I'm genuinely curious where the fans land on this. And if you're vibing with this breakdown so far, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow and lets me keep bringing you deep dives like this one. So what's realistic in a Sochan trade? Let's be honest. At this moment, his value probably doesn't fetch a key rotation player on its own. You're looking at a solid second-round pick. Or packaging him with the Atlanta Hawks pick, swap the Spurs control to land someone more impactful. Names that have been floated around include Gary Trent Jr., who's a proven 3-and-D wing, or Royce O'Neal, who's actually having a terrific season as a floor-spacing forward. Both would immediately address San Antonio's need for shooting at the 4 spot without sacrificing too much defensively. The dream scenario? Pairing Sochan with draft capital to land someone like Herb Jones or Trey Murphy III from the Pelicans. Both are elite defenders who can also stretch the floor. Exactly what the Spurs need next to Wembanyama. But, as mentioned, New Orleans has been tough to deal with, so that door might be closed. Here's the behind-the-scenes reality. San Antonio didn't extend Sochan at the October rookie extension deadline. That tells you everything you need to know about their internal evaluation. He'll be a restricted free agent next summer, and the market could value him anywhere from $15 to $20 million per year based on potential. The Spurs don't want to match that for a player who doesn't fit their system. There's one name, just one, that insiders are whispering could emerge as a dark horse trade partner if a specific team pivots their strategy. I'll get to that in just a second. But first, let's talk about what Sochan's next team is actually getting. Because if you're that front office making the call, you need to know what you're buying. Would you trade depth for a defensive specialist like Sochan? Or would you rather keep developing what you've got? Tell me below, trade in or develop? Let's break down what Sochan brings to the table and what he doesn't. Strengths. Defends multiple positions at a high level. He can guard quick guards on switches and hold his own against bigger forwards in the post. Elite rebounder for his position. Career 3.5 defensive rebounds per game, with the instincts to be in the right place. Transition finisher. He's excellent running the floor and converting in semi-transition. High motor. His effort has never been questioned. Not by coaches, not by teammates. Weaknesses. 3-point shooting is a glaring hole. 26.9% this season, 31.3% for his career. In today's NBA, that's disqualifying for a wing. Too small to play full-time center at 6'8", but doesn't have the skill set to play power forward in a modern offense. Limited half-court shot creation. He's not a primary or secondary ball handler anymore. But here's what makes this story gut-wrenching. Sochan loves being a Spur. He took Stephon Castle and Devin Vassell on a tour of Spain last summer. He and Wembanyama showed up unannounced at a San Antonio soccer field to play pickup. When asked about his limited role recently, he admitted, "I'm not going to lie to you guys and say it was rainbows and sunshine all day. He's had dark days. He knows what's coming." And the worst part? It's not because he didn't try. It's because the fit was never going to work long-term once the Spurs shifted into win-now mode. Victor Wembanyama said it perfectly. "I know he wishes he had his chance more. Effort is never a question for him." What do you think is the biggest thing holding Sochan back? Shooting, size, or just bad timing? Drop your take below. Here's the timeline. The NBA trade deadline is February 6th, 2026. That's less than 3 weeks away. If San Antonio doesn't move Sochan by then, they'll likely let him walk in restricted free agency this summer without matching an offer sheet. That would be the worst-case scenario for the Spurs, getting nothing in return for a former lottery pick, who still has value around the league. It would also be tough for Sochan, who deserves a fresh start where his skill set is appreciated and utilized. So what's the play? If you're one of the 29 other NBA teams, you call San Antonio now. You offer a future second-rounder, or you package a veteran on an expiring deal. You take a low-risk flyer on a 22-year-old defensive pest who could thrive in the right system. And if the Spurs package him with a Hawks pick swap, even better. Suddenly you're looking at a rotation-level upgrade for the stretch run. Because if what I've heard about multiple teams quietly monitoring his availability is true, and trust me, the whispers are getting louder, this could turn into a bidding war faster than people expect. The question isn't if Sochan gets moved, it's who is smart enough to pull the trigger first. If this breakdown opened your eyes to why Sochan's situation is more opportunity than tragedy, smash that like button and share it with a Spurs fan who needs to hear the truth. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next, especially if San Antonio actually pulls off a trade before the deadline. Because if they do, it'll reshape their entire rotation heading into the playoff push. Until next time, stay silver and black, stay sharp, and remember, in the NBA, fit matters more than talent. And right now, 29 teams should be calling. Peace.